Welcome to my channel Max My Heartbeat. So students, first of all I want to thank everybody who are supporting me to run this channel successfully. So I'm getting good response and I hope the same response will be continued in the future also. So please support me and don't forget about the precautions of COVID-19, because COVID-19, as you all know, is spreading very rapidly, and the only medicine for that is wearing a mask and using sanitizer and maintaining social distance. This is the only medicine. Even if vaccines are there, they are temporary, but only whatever precautions we are using, that is the main advantage of getting rid of COVID-19. Okay, I hope everyone will follow this. And coming to the concept, so we are in our chapter relations and functions, and in relations and functions we have discussed so many topics like identical functions and functional equations, etc. Now in today's concept, let us learn a new concept in today's class, that is periodic functions. So when can a function is said to be periodic? So a function is said to be periodic. A function f of x is called periodic function if there exists a positive number t, that is t greater than 0, means always t should be positive, such that f of x plus t is equal to f of x for all values of x within the domain of x. Means whatever the value of x in the domain we are taking, that domain should satisfy this condition, that is f of x plus t is equal to f of x. So first, for example, I am taking f of x is equal to sin x is my function. Yes, sin x is a periodic function, right? So sin x is periodic about 2 pi. Yes, so sin x is a periodic function about 2 pi. So if I take sin of 2 pi plus x plus 2 pi, then I will get same value sin x, right? So here my 2 pi is the period of the function. Understood? So here my 2 pi, whatever I am writing here, this becomes the period of my function sin x. Understood? For suppose, okay, let us understand this somewhat clearly. So I am erasing the definition now. So if we consider the graph of sin x, okay, so here 0, pi, 2 pi, 3 pi, 4 pi, 5 pi, 6 pi, and so on. This is x-axis and this is y-axis. Okay, so how the graph of sin x will be? Like this, from pi again up to 2 pi, like this, again from 3 pi to 4 pi, like this, again 5 pi to 6 pi, like this. This will be the graph of sin x. So after every 2 pi, value of 2 pi, we are getting the same graph repeated, right? Yes, after every value of 2 pi, means after every 2 pi, means after every 1 to 360 degrees, we are getting the same graph. So such a graph is called periodic function. Understood? Here our sin x, this is the graph of y is equal to sin x. Okay, for suppose I am taking my value as sin of 390 degrees. Yes, so what is the value of sin of 390 degrees? I can write this as sin of 30 plus 2 pi. 2 pi is nothing but 360. 360 plus 30. Yes, is okay. I will write 360. 30 plus 360. Again, I will convert this as sin of 30 plus 2 pi. Yes, 360 is nothing but 2 pi. So this value is sin 30. So same. So sin of 30 plus 360. Even we are getting 360. Even we are adding 2 pi here. But my value of f of x plus t is equal to f of x, right? So my sin x is what type of function? Periodic function, and the period of sin x is 2 pi. Okay, so let us see some periods of some important functions. So next concept, periods of important functions. So first function sin x. So period of sin x is 2 pi. All this we should remember always. Cos x is also 2 pi. Tan x and cot x I will say afterwards. Next one is secant x. Secant x is also 2 pi. Cosecant x is also 2 pi. Why? Because reciprocal of sin is cosecant and reciprocal of cos is secant. That's why when cos x period is 2 pi, then secant x period is also 2 pi. When sin x period is 2 pi, then cosecant x period is also 2 pi. That's why. And next fifth, tan x. But for tan x, we'll get the periodic graph after every pi, means after every 180 degrees. So that's why period of tan x is pi and period of cot x is also pi. Next one more we have, that is, what is this function called? Yes, greatest integer function. No, it is not greatest integer function, it is fractional part function, and the period of this function is 1. I hope already I have explained while explaining about graph of functions, right? How the graph of fractional part function will be like this, right? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So from 1 to 2 again like this, from 2 to 3 again, from 3 to 4 like this, right? This is the graph of fractional part function. This is what type of function? Fractional part function. Okay, so these are periods of some important functions which we need to be very careful. Next, let us see periods of derived functions. Okay, next concept, periods of derived functions. So the functions sin power nx, cos power nx, secant power nx and cosecant power nx have a period of pi when n is even. Okay, when n is even, all these functions sin power nx, cos power nx, secant power nx and cosecant power nx have a period of n when n is even, and a period of 2 pi when n is odd or fraction. So when n is odd or fraction, the period of these functions is 2 pi, and when n is even, the period of this function is pi. Okay, so this is the first point. Next, second point, the period of tan power nx, cot power nx is always pi. Okay, whatever the value of pi you take, either it is even or odd, whatever the value of n you take, the period of this tan power nx and cot power nx is always pi. Okay, next, third point, the period of modulus of sin x, modulus of cos x, modulus of secant x, modulus of tan x, modulus of cosecant x and modulus of cot x is also is pi. Okay, why it is pi always? Let us discuss this. Okay, so for suppose we'll take sin x, mod of sin x graph, how it will be, let us see now. Okay, These points are very very important. If you want to note down, I'll wait for 2 minutes. Okay, now I'm erasing. Next point. Let us discuss third point, that is modulus. What is the modulus of the modulus functions period? Okay. So now, first suppose I'm taking y is equal to sin x graph. Okay. This is x axis, this is y axis, and y is equal to sin x graph means like this will be. Yes, continuously like this will be going, right? Yes. So this is pi, this is 2 pi, this is 3 pi, this is 4 pi, and so on. Okay. So this is y is equal to sin x graph. Yes. When y is equal to mod of sin x. So we all know that modulus means minus negative value also becomes positive value. So this curve, yes, this curve will be inverted like this again. Means if this is like this will also be like this. Means from pi to 2 pi also the same, whatever the pi is there, the same graph is repeated, right? So that's why modulus of sin x period is pi, but sin x period is 2 pi. Everybody understood? So this is the difference. Clear? Next we'll learn about fundamental period. Okay. So what is a fundamental period? Least positive period is called fundamental period. Least positive period. For suppose the same will take sin x. Okay. The same graph y is equal to sin x I am taking. Okay. So the graph of sin x will be like this, right? Yes. Means this will be going on like this continuously. Yes. Okay. So this is my graph of y is equal to sin x. Yes. So if you observe pi, 2 pi, 3 pi, and 4 pi. So at 2 pi again, from 2 pi to 4 pi the same graph is repeated. Can I take that from 4 pi to 8 pi again the same graph will be repeated? Yes, no? So I can take the period of sin x as 2 pi, 4 pi, 6 pi, 8 pi, anything we want. Okay? Multiples of 2. Yes, why? Because the same graph will be repeated even if you take from 4 pi to 8 pi, the same graph here, again the same graph, right? So periods will be, these many periods will be there. But what is the fundamental period? Means the least positive period. Means first time from where to where it is repeated. Yes, from 0 to 2 pi only this is repeated again from 2 pi to 4 pi, right? Before that no graph is repeating here. Anywhere are we seeing any repeated graph here? No. So 2 pi becomes the fundamental period of sin x. Understood everybody? Whenever a graph is repeated means whenever a periodic function you are taking, then it may have multiple periods, right? But the least positive period of a function becomes the fundamental period. Okay? So this is about fundamental period. So whatever we have discussed, all those periods are fundamental periods, right? Period of cos x is 2 pi, means that is a fundamental period. Period of tan x is pi, means that is a fundamental period. Okay? Next concept. Yes, let us discuss about properties now. Properties of periodic functions. Okay, let us discuss one or two. Time is up already. So properties, first two properties we'll discuss, remaining will continue in the next class. Okay. So first, properties of periodic functions. So first property, Inverse of periodic functions does not exist. Inverse of periodic functions does not exist. Okay, so let us understand this. So for suppose, okay, now always no need to take sin x. Now I will take greatest integer function. Okay, what is the graph of this function? So this is the graph of the function, greatest integer function, right? So 0, x axis, y axis. So here 1, 2, 3, 4 and so on. Okay, so greatest integer function means up to 1, this will rise, again at 1, this will come here. So this is the graph of greatest integer function, right? Already we know that this is the graph, sorry, fractional part function, not greatest integer function. This is a fractional part function. Why? Because greatest integer function is not periodic, means its value will be increasing. So that is not periodic function, but fractional part function is a periodic function. Clear? So for suppose I am taking this fractional part function. So I want to show that inverse of this periodic function does not exist. How? Means when we have a condition that for a function to exist, for a function to have its inverse exist, then it should be bijective, right? When it is bijective, then only f inverse of x exists, right? F inverse of x exists only when a function is bijective. Bijective includes 1 function and on2 function. But see here, by taking the horizontal line test, yes, how many points of intersection we are getting? More than 1 point of intersection. So what is this function? Many one function, right? So when a function is many one, can it be bijective? No. So when if it is not bijective, then its inverse of this periodic function exists? No. Whatever the periodic function you take, every periodic function is a many one function. Yes, we can prove by taking horizontal line test. I hope understood everybody. So that's why inverse of periodic functions does not exist. This is the first property, very important property. Next, let us see our next property. So second property, generally if f of x has a period t, then g of f of x also has period t, and one more condition he is giving, that t may not be fundamental period. So now we have to move to our composite functions. Why? Because function inside a function is a composite function. For suppose, let us take yes, okay, I am taking modulus of sin x as my example. F of x is equal to modulus of sin x, right? Inside sin x is a function, right? This is f of x, and modulus of sin x means again modulus of x is one more function, right? Function inside a function. So if I consider modulus of sin x, so what is the period of sin x? 2 pi, right? But what is the period of modulus of sin x? We got pi. So that's why we wrote generally, means always not possible. Only sometimes we can say that g of f of x also has a period t if f of x has a period t. Understood? Only sometimes it is possible that if f of x has a period t, then g of f of x also has a period t. T may not be the fundamental period. Understood? So t may be or may not be the fundamental period. Clear? That's all. This is the second property. Clear? Next, third property. What's our third property here? Okay. Every constant function is periodic with no fundamental period. Okay, let us understand this. So every constant function is periodic with no fundamental period. So it means no fundamental period for x. For suppose I am taking f of x is equal to k. Yes, k may be any number. For suppose I am taking f of x is equal to 3. Now the graph of f of x is equal to 3. Yes, let us draw the graph of f of x is equal to 3 now. Okay. F of x is nothing but y. So y is equal to 3. Means x value whatever you take, y value will always be 3. So x axis and y axis. So x is 0, y is 3. So 1, 2, 3. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Again, when x is 0, y is 3. When x is 1, y is 3. When x is 3. So always, whatever the value of x you take, value of y will always be 3. This function is called constant function. Clear? So if you take constant function, this is a periodic function, right? This value, the graph of this is going on increasing, means in the same manner it is going, right? Means it is a periodic function, but no fundamental period. Any fundamental period I can derive here? No. From every point to point, the same graph is repeating here. Yes. So every constant function is periodic with no fundamental period. Understood? So this is the third property. This property is also very important. Next. If fourth property, f of x has a period t, then 1 by f of x and root of f of x also have the same period. T. Okay, for this I will take best example sin x. So my f of x is equal to sin x. So what is the period of sin x? 2 pi. If I take 1 by f of x, means 1 by sin x. So what is 1 by sin x? Cosecant x. Cosecant x period is also how much? 2 pi. So when sin x period is 2 pi, then cosecant x period is also 2 pi. Even root of sin x period is also 2 pi. Understood? So this is fourth property, that is, if f of x has a period t, then 1 by f of x and the square root of f of x also have the same period t. Okay, and let us see the last property. I hope everyone is understanding all properties. Yes. So first property is about inverse. Inverse of a periodic function never does not exist. Okay, and next property we have seen about, yes, if f of x has a period t, generally if f of x has a period t, then g of f of x means its composite function may have a period t or may not have a period t. Okay. Next, third property, every constant function is periodic function. Already I have explained, right? With no fundamental period, means we can't derive the fundamental period for that constant function. Next, fourth function. Now fourth property I have already explained. So now next, last property, if f of x has a period t, then f of ax plus b has a period. What is the period of this ax plus b? Means t by mod a. Understood? So if I have any function f of x with period t, then f of ax plus b has a function. For suppose I know that sin x function is period is 2 pi, right? But I want to find out sin of 2x plus 5. Okay, So first, anyhow we know that sin x function is period is 2 pi. So 2 pi by modulus of a means quotient of x. So that is modulus of 2. So 2 pi by 2. 2 gets cancelled. Answer is pi. Understood? So this is the fifth property, that is if f of x has a period t, then f of ax plus b has a period t by mod a. Clear? So these are the 5 properties of periodic functions. So students, this is my concept about periodic functions. I hope you like my video. So if you really like my video, please give it a thumbs up and encourage me, so that I can make more and more useful videos like this. And if anybody is really interested in learning IIT, please watch my videos, understand the concept and practice the problems and try to get a good score in IIT.